Yeah. Now, in 2000, you and I, we had a debate with the world's foremost philosophical atheist, who was Anthony Flew. For 40 years, he was the world's foremost atheist, okay? And the fact is, I had you present 12 historical facts. We're going to play this later on down the line. And then we asked him, the world's foremost philosophical atheist in the world, for 40 years, do you accept these facts? And he says he did. Okay, we're going to play that clip so people can actually hear part of that debate. But I want you right now, we're talking about Paul. Let's talk from the time of the cross. When did Paul come in contact with Jesus? Then go down this timeline. Then we're going to come to 1 Corinthians 15 and see what it says.
All right, let's do it from this way over.
Right.
Jesus dies. Critics put Paul's conversion, sometimes, it doesn't make a difference if you're liberal or conservative. Sometimes the most liberal ones put Paul's conversion at 18 months. So Paul's on the road to Damascus at anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. So let's say 2 years is an average.
Right.
2 years later, Paul's going to Damascus and has an experience which he believes is the appearance of the risen Jesus. He kind of digested that and meditated, and 3 years later, he goes back up to Jerusalem. We are just 5 years after the event here, 2 plus 3. And when I think, when I'm doing this and I'll think someone's saying, hey, can you do the math there? I'll say, remember, Paul's authoritative. Let him do the math for you. 2 years to Damascus, 3 years to Jerusalem, and that's 5. And someone says, well, I think it was 3 years when he, okay, great. 3 plus 3, 6. We just moved over a year. There's nothing like this in the ancient world.
Right, 6 years from the cross.
6 years from the cross, and he goes there, and he meets probably the 2 living authorities at that time, Peter, the head apostle, James, the pastor of the church of Jerusalem, and the brother of Jesus.
And we're going to talk about what they talked about a little bit later, but then from there, he goes to where?
Well, he goes and starts preaching. He starts his missionary journeys later, but just about, like we were saying, 25 total years, he's sitting there writing the book of 1 Corinthians. Now, we know he came to Corinth. This is one of the most clearly ascertainable dates in the New Testament.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Well, he comes to Corinth 51 to 52 AD because the city leader, today leader's a funny word, we'd say mayor, but that's not what the Greeks called him. They had 1 year appointments only, and there's been found an inscription with his name in the rock. We know when he was in control, and we're told that that's who was in control of the city when Paul came. So he comes a mere 21 years after the cross. Now, some people date the cross to 33 AD. If that's true, we're only 18 years after the cross.
Right.
And about 4 years later, Paul's writing the book.